What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take the collective vibration higher. My sole intention is to reconcile all paradox with love and truth, and I love you. And it's my birthday today. Yeah, 25 years old. That's a quarter century. I'm gonna try to scoot back because I have like this little tripod holder in the car. I don't want to feel like I'm talking down to you guys, you know what I mean? But it's good to see a beautiful face. I love to make a year in review, and I really think that this would be a good life in review because 25. My 8th house Saturn said I could probably live a really long time, so this might not be a quarter. I might live to 150 for real, but I did shoot this video already. It was an hour long, and I was driving around and I was listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, this shit is really dark, man. My life, damn. And Mercury just went into Virgo, so I have a Leo Mercury my whole life. That being said, Leo Mercury is a little bit complicated. Virgo's a little bit more structured. And I was like, yeah, I got the ideas out, but I could probably even make the video a little bit more concise and respect everybody's time and maybe even make my story more beautiful as well. Because I see the points that I was trying to get at, and I think I could do it better. So this might be round 2, or maybe I didn't need to say that, you know? Maybe you could have just been impressed. But either way, hey, your boy is fried. Mr. Myers got the fire. He just quit smoking, so it feels so counterintuitive. And the reason he quit smoking is to heal his heart. Talking in the third person right now. But to let the tar and the toxins and stuff come out and take the Mullen and do the cleanse for the lungs. But today is a celebration, so as you can see, we already did like one video. So it's legal in my state, so I do partake, but at the same time, you boys been switching to edibles just because it's a cleansing. And what's cool about the edibles too is like incorporating them in vitamin form, essentially, or with my vitamins, and sometimes just like not even really taking them because of the way the duration and effect is different, you know? So it's been helping me really get a hold over the habit really and just experience more sobriety, which is amazing, and I love it, and that's been so healing in itself. So it's been a beautiful year, albeit a tough one, but man, no risk it, no biscuit. No risk, no reward is what they usually say, but it's been a good one. Trials and tribulations, ABC, adversity builds character, and we are getting there. In my last year in review, it was pretty sad. It was a dark place, and just so much grief. I did break down on the camera. I ugly cried. I didn't even want to edit it out because I was so distraught just from the pain and the sorrow, forms of abuse and just heartbreaking things. And that's just gonna say that the beginning of this year for me, guys, was very hard, and I was in a very dark place. I was using all my resources, and I feel like I'm just gonna be quite honest. I'm in the tunnel still, but I see the light and it's bright, and honestly, like, I was cool with being in the tunnel a little bit back further in the darkness, but it is an incremental challenge, you know, that we're learning through. So, various forms of healing, Reiki, pranayama, shadow work, reflection, you know, magic, therapy, fucking ritual, invocation, exercise, somatic healing. You know, I'm doing everything I can to move myself forward in life, and I'm realizing that, you know, it's an inner journey, so I need to take care of myself and heal my heart and heal my soul and listen to my inner self, and that's been making all of the difference. And I need to burn the road opener because it's my birthday. All the difference, man. So more power, love, and wisdom to me in the world, but more specifically, more fire, more inspiration, more open roads to myself, more success to me, more peace, more prosperity, and more power to my ministry and my family and my friends, truly, because I like where I'm going. My love of myself and my understanding of my worth is becoming undeniable, and I recognize my beauty and my substance and really the value of my vision and my innate being. It's so amazing. And it's been a long journey, guys, in these 25 years. In this 1 year, I've lost a lot and I've gained a lot more. I've lost really long-term friendships, lost out on relationships. I had to cut my mom out of my life. And that's a really challenging thing to talk about, truly. And part of why I wanted to remake the video, because there's so much I was bringing up, and I feel like I was not even connecting with the information that needed to make sense. Like, you can tell it's hard to talk about as you're listening to it, you know? So I just know that I know how to structure what I'm saying a little bit more. But I had to make a personal decision to remove my mom's access to me and to really cut her out of my life, and just make the decision that she no longer has access and we no longer have a relationship, and that's just what it's going to be. Because she's brought a lot of pain into my life, a lot of sorrow, a lot of confusion. I use this term a lot, and it can really warrant elaboration, like, aka, what the fuck does this mean? And in the rest of this video, you'll probably understand quite well that I inherited a lot of artificial guilt from my mother. And I guess, to be more succinct, just feeling bad about myself for no reason, or feeling like I was to blame for everything. And that dynamic is hard as a child, but even in my adult life, having various issues with my mom. And I believe in everybody's goodness. Truly, I'm a 7th house Jupiter in Pisces. I believe in everybody's goodness. So it's very hard for me to judge and be critical towards others. Not so much for myself. And again, that's because I believe in other people's goodness. So that being said, it's easy for me to grow up with artificial guilt. But more specifically, that happens when your mom is a narcissist. And that means a whole lot of things, man. Like, someone who is completely self-absorbed and self-obsessed. And as a Leo sun myself, I do understand the necessity to have a level of selfishness for self-preservation and to really make yourself advance forward. There's power in it, you know? So I can see that. But on top of that, the narcissistic traits warranted subtle emotional abuse and dynamics of a lot of neglect. And my family dynamics were quite weird off the rip, my friends. Because, not unlike other people, I'm the product of divorced parents. And that means a lot of things. One thing is, it means that generally you don't see your parents together. Healthy love is not modeled for you. You also might have negative expectations of love because of this. This also looks like lacking time with both of your parents, missing out on the connection with one or both of them. For me, it was the latter. Experiencing various forms of neglect, abandonment, and usually there's got to be some agreement between the parents, you know? So for us, it was like weekends where you get to flip-flop. So it really just means, for me, growing up as the youngest of 3 kids, bouncing and disoriented and needing both of my parents and really not having them around me. Even though they were physically present, I'm the youngest and I'm a Saturn Taurus. And what that really means in this context is that I'm very materialistic in just the objective way I see the world. So I'm looking at resources and time and energy as finite, and that's a big fear for me, even as a young kid. So it's like seeing a brother and a sister a year older than me, frustrated ass parents, lack of stability. My needs are unmet. I feel like it's impossible to have them met. I think I need to shrink. I feel like there's something wrong with me. So it's like, off the rip, in a very broad sense, you can see that my childhood kind of had some pain in it, for real. And diminishing is what I'm doing right now. Minimizing, which is a result of all that shit, you know? Ooh, my heart is opening. And I love telling stories, man. I feel like I'm a good storyteller. I'm trying to master the art of it. I think it's a art, so I'll forever be working on it, right? When I'm close to my 3rd Saturn return, when I'm past my Uranus return, I'm gonna be the best storyteller in the motherfucking world, I'm telling you. If Uranus lets me get there. I don't know why it wouldn't. Like, why the fuck would it not? I'm him, aren't I? But it was really good for my healing to cut my mom out of my life, in addition to, the friends that I lost, just because it helped me with my healing. Not only was my mom not there for me as a kid, just because of, you know, work dynamics, and on some level, it was not even just the Taurus energy, the timing and the resources. Like, my mom chose to not nurture me and things like that. So I grew up a lot of like, for a long time, dude, I will say, like, as an adolescent, thinking I had a good childhood because I did have my physical needs met. I had a roof over my head and I was able to eat and stuff, and, you know, and even live a more blessed life per se, but at the same note, really going through it on the inside all the fucking time, dude, you know? And it's like, that's the Saturn Taurus. Is like, well, at least I got this. I can hold on to this. It's like, what about that? It's like, don't talk about that. I got this right here. And some of y'all feel me with that placement, or just life, bro. But that's how we live it. That's how we get it. And the unraveling really hit a lot deeper when I made that decision to release her from my life. And even before then, as an adult, our connection wasn't that good anyway. You know, physical distance had us kind of separate, but at the same time, it's like ideologically separated. And I don't make this video to shame my mom, because I also have forgiveness for her, because that's part of the healing journey, and that's part of my life, to be able to understand the necessity of these experiences on a soul level. Like, we're all one universe, we're all one thing. So I'm able to recognize myself in literally everything. And that's not always easy, but that just means that I can forgive and I can hold compassion at all times. And that's a Saturn and Pisces thing. It's really challenging, but it's very necessary. So that's just going to mean that the reward is ultimate. So while it's hard to let go of the past, because it can be very dense as far as emotions go, it's necessary to do that to create your future and even be deep in the present. And for my life, y'all, it's really an expelling of negative emotions. And I think this is parallel for a lot of people with these transits, these retrogrades, things of that nature. But I'm grieving still, and every day I cry a decent bit, pretty hard, from a very deep part of my heart. And that's my expelling, that's my healing. And it's great. I know that it won't be suffering forever. I guarantee it. It wouldn't make any goddamn sense. But the characteristics of my childhood really gave me a lot of denial of myself. So that just means that I was taught to portray positivity and just to show up and push things to the side, you know, and be cheery and things of that nature. So this year has been very profoundly amazing for honoring my emotions, accepting of things, and being able to have a deep ambivalence that's kind of beautiful, to say that no matter what happens, it's just okay. And it can even be a good thing too, beyond it's okay. So the resistance I have to my emotions in life is really going away, and that's making a whole of a difference. So we really love that. I think my career's been going great. The community's been expanding, and there's a lot of ways to measure growth. And I feel like it's bigger. I've always known it's bigger than numbers, truly. It's bigger than the follower count. It's bigger than the financials. It's literally about the difference we get to make, the impact, the depth of inspiration that it brings. That's truly how I feel about it. So I've been doing a lot of my own healing when it comes to my self-worthiness, and also just my focus and knowing where to put my time and energy and how to build my schedule. My North Node's in Virgo for real, so it's given a lot of that, building my dreams in the 12th house North Node. But I digress. I'm very excited for my nodal reversal in 3 years, because I think that's going to really shoot me forward. And I do like making these types of videos just because I'd like to be able to timestamp my life and refer back to it and just see how that's going. Because I always have a lot to celebrate. My life really is so beautiful, and it's only going to get more beautiful the longer I live it. I've experienced a lot of pain in this life and this year, and I was reflecting last night past midnight about my life, and like I was telling you guys, I've been expelling a lot. So that means crying a lot and being immersed within those negative emotions, and honestly being confronted with my paradigms and my thoughts of myself, and really the result of the pain being ignored and gaining consciousness of itself, and then embedding deep unworthiness beliefs or self-hatred and things of that nature. I've been dismantling this shit, and it's piece by piece, and it's challenging, and it takes time. So I'm looking at myself last night, right after midnight, the love's rolling in, and I'm grieving a lot, y'all. And like, this is one thing I want to say about grief before I tell you the other thought, is that I think it's connected to love in some strange way, in the sense that love heals it, but there's some condition to grief that arises from feeling a lack of love or a need to be loved. So, the love that I'm getting in my life is constant and incessant, and even the love that I'm getting from myself is getting better and better every single day. So I just know that the grief has to come out. It's going to be expelled, because I do accept all parts of myself. I'm just having to go find me, and I do accept me. I call me back in. So while I'm grieving, dude, I know that part of it means I'm experiencing this emotion and it's just transient. So that in itself is a good thing, but it can feel quite painful and feel like a bad thing. And it's like you're winning technically because you're healing and you're integrating and you're moving forward, but you definitely feel like you're losing because it's grief. So that's the challenging thing, is that that's where you're winning, but you kind of feel like you're losing, like real deal. So shout out to the lungs. Shout out to everybody with their oral fucking fixations, smoking on something to heal their heart or to manage the grief, because it's not an easy process. It's not fun at all. Do what you gotta do. Take it a day at a time. Try to thank the universe for the pain. That's always been the hardest thing for me, but so pivotal. To just say thank you. I want to shout out everybody in my team, truly. Eva told me this, like literally, thank the universe for your pain. Even when you're distraught, tears coming down your face, you still got to give thanks, for that experience of being. It's an amazing thing. And it gives contrast, it gives profundity to all of your other experiences as well. So it's necessary. So here's the thing, guys. I was dancing around this thought for 2 minutes, but I think it was a cool build-up. So either way, we're making sense. Last night, I'm thinking, I'm 25 now. I'm a quarter of a century old. And let's say I live for a century. That's 25%. I'm an 8th house Saturn. I could live that long. I could live a lot longer, for real. I could live as long as I want to, if you really think about it. Think about it. So, some of y'all won't think about it, but either way it goes, because I'm not about to do the thinking for you. You either will or you won't, so let me keep going. I was literally about to do it. I've been learning not to do that. I've learned this year not to cast my pearls before swine. Sometimes I spend a lot of time, but no more, no sirski. So, I was thinking about this shit, man. If I'm 25% of the way through my life, and I'm reflecting back on the life that I've lived up until now, what the fuck actually? This sounds like a digression, but I'm going to come right back to that same thought after this little side story. I love Leo Mercury really quick because it's like the sun, so this is who I am. This is how I like to communicate. So there's a beginning and an end to a story, right? But Leo Mercury wants you to have everything that it is. It's comprehensive and it's creative and dynamic and dramatic. So that just means that for the Leo Mercury, you generally end up here after the story is over. So you can be like, whoa, what a crazy movie. But that just means, like, when Leo Mercury people are telling a story, that's why I think I'm doing this 2 times, is because I want it to be a better video. It doesn't have to be necessarily an hour long. They're going to be like, okay, here we are. But that just means, but then it's like, okay. And then they're like, what? And then now we're over here. Are you serious? And then it's like, yeah. And then it's like, but wait, what? Huh? And it's like, hold up, sorry, my bad. Let's get to it, because then they just want to talk about all this other shit, to make sure that you get the whole fucking picture. So last night, I was looking at my life, because I'm 25, and I'm saying, man, here's that story. Here's the side story. Let's just say God came up to you and said, hey, dude, It's your time to go. So, adios, bichachos. Come with me. I got something for you. So you're about to go to your next level. And God reveals to you, whoever the fuck, he says, bruh, or sis, or ma'am, or sir, or zim, or zer. He says, all right, so on this next level, you're going to come back exactly as you are and do it all over again. The exact same way. And nothing will be different. You're going to feel the same way. Every thought will be the same. Every experience on every level will be the exact fucking same. But it ends now, and you're about to do it all over again. So, how does that make you feel? Do you curse God? Do you curse whoever the fuck proposes that for you? Or is that amazing? Is that great that you get to do it again? You know? Just being real, guys. If I'm 25, I truly feel like I've spent about 80% of my life hating, resisting, trying to change who the fuck I am and what's going on to me. And about 20% of my life enjoying it and just appreciating life and having fun and being happy. I feel like it's been 80% suffering. It's been a hard life. And I'm able to realize, because my lens is so wide and I have a lot of water, for real, I create my own bullshit because I create everything. And that makes the suffering even harder, because I'm like, damn, this shit's hard. It becomes harder. But the circumstances that got it here weren't easy either. I hold past life trauma in my astral body, which means that I kind of had a rough landing even before I was born, when I was conceived, literally, as a spirit. You can check the moon for people that like kind of, astrology's wicked, man, so let me just keep going. I had a rough landing, and that just means that also my dynamics with my family, as I was incarnated, you know, having divorced parents and neglect and things of that nature, it really created a lot of pain in me, and that pain was justified by self-talk and me explaining my life. And every kid is egocentric, truly, and Leo kids a little bit more so, you know. So like, that just means that they're the center of the universe. Everything happens because of them, and everything is their fault, or, you know, true selfishness, which is not always helpful, because you can blame yourself for a lot of things. But that's the evolutionary thing you need, because you need to be self-preserving. That's what the universe literally does. So I just will say that I grew up with some fucked up beliefs and really resisted a lot against myself, and just felt abandoned and hurt a lot too. So my dominant core beliefs were really resolved around unworthiness and, you know, being a burden, or just being somebody worthy of hatred, because the love definitely wasn't there. And yeah, this is, so guys, this is where the shit gets hard, truly, for me to talk about, because I'm still going through it so deep, and I can literally feel it in my chest. So I'm like, ooh, yeah. This is how I get the video organized, truly. Like, once I get into this, man, if I get it open deep enough, guys, it brings out that trauma, and then I go fight or flight mode, and then it's hard for me to like keep the story on track, you know, or be in any like grounded mode, you know. So just like breathing into my root for a second, you know, because, you know, I just kind of like mentioned, I had a bad relationship with my mom. I cut her out of my life this year. And when I say bad, that diminishes it, guys, because my mom is not only a narcissist, she's a psychic vampire, and I am her prey. And I've been able to escape and get that dynamic severed on all levels. That's what I mean when I say reversed, dude, or removed. But my mom not only neglected me and left me with various forms of abandonment, she psychically corded me, and every mom has a psychic cord to their baby. You know, that's baseline. That comes with the territory. But I'm telling you, dude, my mom used that cord to pull energy from me, to make, because, dude, listen, as a parent, And I've been a fucking parent before, I swear to God. As a parent, it takes energy, action, and intention to make your child not feel special. You have to be deliberate to do that. And that's what I received. And that just means rather than nourishing the kid, it's like you kind of bully the kid. You invalidate the kid. You make the kid feel inferior. You pull the energy from the kid. You know, you make them crave you. Then you reject them. It's like, it's weird and twisted and sadistic. It's fucked up. Like, my mom will go to hell. She really will go to hell. And I'm trying to, again, stay out the thing and be objective and neutral about this. I can just be emphatically clear. She is going to hell when she dies. On an astral level. That's just what's going to happen to her soul. She portrays to be a good person. She's a nurse. She can serve other people. Wow, my career and vocation is good. Wow, I'm a Christian. I abide by principle. But you're a demon to your son. An actual demon. You eat his energy. Because you hate men. You hate yourself. This Venus retrograde started on the same degree as my mom's natal Venus, which is conjunct her black moon Lilith. And that just means her love is all fucked up. Truly all fucked up. And that's why she would want to be jealous of and be just weird with her kid, dude. She really, like, I didn't get into this yet in this video because when I did in the last one, I was like all over the place. But, dude, not only did I grow up in a lot of pain and neglect, that shit hurt so bad, bro. I never wanted to live anymore because my feelings were unworthiness. And because I'm the third kid in the last one, I eventually concluded that I caused my parents to divorce and that they probably never even wanted to have me in the first place. And the financial strain and burden of me existing probably fucked up the things, you know? That's really the logic I caught. It's like, I know that might not make sense to people listening to this, but that's actually what I felt. So not only did I not like have the connection emotionally, I felt like it's because my parents were too tired and too stressed because they got 2 other fucking kids and they're trying to survive. So it's like, bro, I should really just get the fuck out of the way. That's literally how I felt all the time, dude. So it's like, I didn't want to be around for the longest, literally the earliest. In the 3rd grade, I put my first suicide note on paper because I was really thinking about how do I do this, you know? And I, you know, of course got into self-harm and hurting myself and maiming myself and using knives, you know? And that was my conclusion to it. And I remember, like, the first time I grabbed a knife, my spirit guide, which was actually my cat at the time, you know, she came through and she was like, bro, the fuck are you doing? Like, she said, you're not gonna do that, you know? I'm doing it again. I didn't think I was gonna cry in this video like this, bro, because the last time I did it, which is crazy. Oh, but it's real, y'all. Damn, I need to get the thing. Hold up, man. Oh, beauty is pain, bro. So this ugly crying shit, like, I don't want to do this, but I know it's gonna be worth it in the end, you know. I'm trying to be so much cooler, but at the same time, people don't want you to be fucking cool. People want you to be goddamn real. So that's what this video is about, is just telling you what my life is like, man. Because I want to watch this video in the future and be like, okay, that's really what it was, you know? Because you can see in a person when they're communicating what they're expressing and what they're choosing to hold back and really how they're... If you're really paying attention, man, there's so many tells, bro. So it's like, this is supposed to be from the soul. That's exactly who the fuck I am. But yeah, bro, I was incessant on escaping for the longest time. That's really how my life was, because of those beliefs about myself and just the way my life was structured up. And, you know, my mom was a psychic vampire, and this even continued into my young adult life, where while we were physically distant, and we ended up having a falling out, and she basically gave up on me whenever I was a teen and kicked me out of the house because I was in the middle of a deep depression, and I started smoking pot, dude. And literally, rather than like talking to me about my issues or what's going on, she just blamed me for suffering. I remember trying to open up one time, and she basically just told me happiness isn't guaranteed. I better go find Jesus. because he's really the only way. And what's crazy was that, like, not only did I experience that abandonment and that neglect on both sides of the tree, just based on the dynamic of the family, I experienced abandonment from the upper levels of belief. And this is really the hardest point of my life. And one, I don't know which one is harder, the material or the spiritual. I digress, but I felt abandoned by God as well, guys. And this is really a big part of my spiritual journey and why I'm an astrologer and a healer in the first place, is that I was indoctrinated Christian, Catholic on one side of the tree from my dad, but in my mom was neo-pagan and Gnostic while I was growing up. So we had magic books on the shelves, and she would burn sage, and she wore the pyramid hat. Isis, Isis, rah, rah, rah. She's chanting in the house, you know, and just, there's esoteric knowledge playing on the laptop and type shit. Like, it's conspiracy theories and all types of crystals and herbs and, you know, like one of those moms, you know? So I grew up Christian, and I'm told commandment, do this. Here's what happens when you die, aka hell's a thing. Be ashamed for a lot of things. You have rules. Be fucking good or else. So that's like, if you're not a Catholic, I could go on and deeper, but like, that's the little picture of what Catholicism is like for a lot of people. And it's lukewarm, which just means to me that, like, you get this program because they got that program from their mom and dad, and they're too weak, scared, or confused to ask any goddamn questions. So they're just going to give you the same one. And they're not even going to ask questions about why they're getting it. Because, oh, fuck. For real, I might as well do it, you know? So it's like, literally, guys, I grew up with a fucked up idea of cosmology, and I'm giving the finger to Catholicism. Fuck all that bullshit. I can see the virtue and principle, but fuck that shit at this point. And I could give you a million reasons, but I'm trying to stay on track, you know? But then I'm given a life, right? And I spend the majority of my time with my mom, growing up in a different world, not really seeing the necessity of this shit, seeing people going fine without it, having a lot of questions. Of course, no one's there to answer them for me. I'm confused as fuck. I feel guilty for having questions and a lack of faith. And it's like, I feel like God is playing tricks with my head, you know, or that I'm just really not good enough for God or something like that, you know? So, bro, I felt the worst on like all levels for a lot of the time of my life. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, like, I try so hard to do my best. I know a lot of times perception is reality, attitude matters. So it's like, I'm trying to be positive, but at the same time, a big part of my life has been extremely negative, and a lot of the variables outside of my physical control have been stacked up against me. And I don't say that to be a victim intentionally or to give responsibility from other things, because I try to rise above all that and take full accountability for my life so I can be powerful. But at the same time, it's like, I have to learn to give myself a little bit more grace and credit and love when it comes to pain and challenges too, because they're very real and they do take work. And I think sometimes I've neglected that. I want to try to speak deliberately more from my heart more, because I feel like in interest of creating this video, I'm talking more to people as opposed to really just sharing what I mean. And I am sharing what I mean, but at the same time, I feel like I want to be expressing and not just creating, if that makes sense. So, just trying to open this heart, man. I can feel my energy blockages, guys. Like, I'm very aware of myself. And I carry the most pain, the most tension here. And breath is life, you know? So, a big part of my healing journey, I don't know if I said this. If I said this twice, it's because probably me saying in the other video, I know I needed to say it, but I bought this shit today from the dispo, and it's legal where I'm at to partake. So I haven't really been smoking, and I've been smoking chronically. Oh yeah, I mentioned that in this video, that me and my mom had a falling out because I was smoking and stuff, and then kicked me out and stuff, and etc. The smoking helped me with the grief because, I mean, first of all, you know, weed is a drug, and it does give you like pleasurable effects. I think the majority of people have smoked. I don't got to explain it, but yeah, there's a recreational benefit, but there's a medicinal quality as well to it on various levels. So I found that was a way to ease my suffering and process some grief, or at least be able to ignore it enough to function for a little bit. So in interest of living a life as a chronic weed smoker, I feel like over time, the amount of weed that I've smoked and the physical material, it's put pressure on my lungs, it's put blockages in my body to the point where, you know, my physical breathing has been impaired. So for probably a couple weeks lately, I have not been smoking, and it's been profoundly healing, and there's been a lot of expelling. I've been taking Mullen, and, you know, literally in doing that, I've been crying a lot more, I've been grieving a lot more, and I'm actually, through the breath work, able to get deeper into my heart, and that in itself is freeing a lot of negative emotions, you know. So a lot of things are coming full circle on this birthday, you know, with the Venus retrograde and a new cycle for me, and the decisions I've had to cut important people out of my life. But also, you know, you exchange energies. So what I mean is, as I've lost things in my life, I've gained amazing things. I have amazing friends, an amazing team. I've got an amazing environment that's set up for my growth. Everything I've built is supporting me. The game is rigged in my favor. It's all amazing, truly. But the only challenges I'm facing is that I have to heal. And that's painful, and it will take time. Therefore, I must be patient. I gotta be patient. And being patient is gonna help me in any part of my life too, because most of my problems come from my expectations of myself, or my criticism of my circumstance, you know. So if I just learn to accept as a habit whatever the fuck I'm experiencing, and then just choose to be positive, which I want to do anyway, I'm gonna overcome all my obstacles in due time, and then hit all my motherfucking goals, you know. So my main focus, and I'm a damn Virgo now, let me tell you, in my progress chart, you do a degree a year. So think about this, y'all. I've been a Leo my whole entire life, up until age 24 in the progress chart, because I'm a 6th degree Leo. So that just means that today on my birthday, I was thinking about the minutes. If you saw me trail off, I was like, no, let me just say emphatically, today on my birthday, I'm a Virgo sun now. So holy fuck, this is a whole new 30-year chapter, right? You know, and then then I'm gonna be a Libra. I'm thinking ahead. Yeah, you see how I always stay. I never let them know your next meal. I'm not gonna tell you where I stay, you know, like. Oh, bro, but it's good. So, bro, I did post my progress chart on the Instagram story, and I'm just gonna speak out loud now for myself and posterity. But yeah, that sun is on that north node. So when I say the game is rigged in my favor, you better fucking believe, deeper than believe, logically understand, I mean what the fuck I say. I get a miracle every day, times infinity. You shitting me? It's amazing. I did a 1-card pull on the story too, and I got the King of Wands, and I just know that's because I'm him. So I want to do that again with the YouTube video, because let's see what we got. See, this is a 40-minute video now, and it's not nearly as chaotic as the last one. And that last one may just be deleted. It might not exist, truly. But it really helped me. I did learn this year, and I'm trying to implement this knowledge, is that practice and preparation is goddamn important, man. This message came out in the last video. So let me tell you one thing, because this felt so high vibrational, and I know it is. The age of Aquarius. People can debate the timing of it, but fuck it. Pluto in Aquarius. Thinking is more important than doing. It forever will be. And you can see this through the planes of correspondence. air being lighter than earth. Thinking is way better than doing. It will always be better than doing. Think more, do less is the mode of everybody's life. I'm telling you, dude, if you're watching this video right now, I'm trying to remind you, fuck yes, dude, I'm trying to remind you, you need to think more, do less. Always. You know, action is natural, but think more and do less. And when the thoughts line up, go ham. Do whatever the fuck you want. I feel like I'm gonna sign out pretty quick, because I think I got the majority of it. Because I got a lot of goals. They're sacred to me, so I'm not gonna really talk about those, but I do see the future. I'm moving forward, and really the universe has got me covered. So I'm just interested in playing my role and appreciating that character as well, because my focus and perception is so malleable to the point where I need reassurance of myself, and that's what I'm learning. Sign of the times, man. In this Venus retrograde, that's literally what I'm learning, is that, like, I need reassurance, and I have to devise a structure of my life in order to get that appropriately, sufficiently, and be able to just keep going in all regards. This shit is cool, bro. King, you got a bright future. I'm telling you. I feel like you know that, bro, but look at this. 6 wands right here. Dog. What's first is last, and what's last shall be first. Oh, man. My bitch-ass mom gave me the biggest gift of them all, which was unconditional hatred, confusion, a lot of neglect. And I was able to turn that into a gift of healing and a practice, a proficiency, an understanding of principle that will ripple the world for eternity and create balance and beauty and harmony and love for everybody to partake in. And I literally can't feel how good that shit is right now because I'm so blocked up in my astral body. But I assure you, I am him. I understand that shit. Grief is hard, bro, because you're winning and moving forward, but it feels like you're fucking losing. And growth means severance of the bottom, what isn't working, cutting the drag. I have a South Node Pisces, and what Spirit has been telling me recently, I have to rest and then work in that order, because I can't give what I don't have. And I also can't bully or extort myself into growing or doing things that are great. Damn, this is crazy. Bro, life is a trip, bro. These are both of my parents' Saturn cards. I'm like, God damn, bro. Can you, Lord help me. Oh, goodness. Oh, Santa Muerte, please. Kind-hearted queen, one who watches my life, mother of death, please watch over me in this following year and for the rest of my long life that is beautiful. Remove obstacles from my path and bring death to all character liabilities and parts of me that limit my true potential. Bring death to everything in my life on all levels that interrupts my growth and freedom. Bring death to everything that wants to stop me. Because I am God's will and this world is mine. Rest assured, I will devote my life to you every day, Santa Muerte. You already know. Thank you for the gift of being. Okay. I just went somewhere very beautiful. If you're watching this at 44 minutes, man, I love you. And I hope you're doing well. I hope my life serves as inspiration to you. I know it does for a lot of people, and on some level, life is not really that serious. Meaning you don't really got to strive to be an inspiration, but on some level do recognize that when you are just yourself or just existing, you know, people influence each other. So just by being, or I think doing your best, you end up becoming a person you genuinely admire. When I think about my life coming full circle at 25 years old, that's what it really feels like, is that while I've had deeply embedded challenges and beliefs and dynamics and had a lot stack up against me, the intention to do good, the intention to be good, to help other people, it's created a positive ripple effect and a chain reaction. And now I receive so much reinforcement from others, but also myself, because the crazy thing is, man, you need that self-love. You can't skip it. I've been receiving so much of it that it's like the bottom, those core beliefs that are negative, they're forced out automatically. So it's just, life undeniably shows me that God loves me, and I think God is everything and loves all things. So in due time, we will all find true peace and be able to let go of anything that once held us back from the past, and even the pressure and the trepidation we might fear from the future, because we'll eventually get an understanding of how this world works, that it's beyond us, but at the same time, it dwells within us too. So that's really challenging, because you have to be internally vigilant. So in emotions lie the gift, and that's really a beautiful thing. So a lot is being forced out, a lot is being expelled, and I really do love it, in spite of how painful it is on a daily basis, because, you know, healing is not necessarily a fun process, but pain is growth, pain is beauty, and that's amazing. So I'm very optimistic, very excited, because a lot of that growth for me lately has literally been internal. Therefore, the nature of it is a little bit more challenging to explain in the material universe, but I'm able to see the progress in the sense of how much I enjoy my life, you know. As I was mentioning, damn near at midnight last night, as my birthday rolled around, and I'm reflecting on my Saturn Taurus ass, I'm like, hey, it's probably been 2080 joy, suffering, you know. And with everything I've learned and understood, I'm like, how do I change the dynamics? Because I understand a lot more now. I'm like, so what I have to do, and I will say I've been doing quite well lately, is work on my self-image, change how I see myself, choose to be positive, be patient, don't put unnecessary restrictions upon myself, acknowledge myself in all circumstances, and then stand up for myself, set boundaries, and then remove negative influences from my life and my environment. And under those conditions, naturally you grow and flourish, you know. So I've been seeing the results of that over the last couple years, but especially in this year, I will just say that my upward spiral, it's been like, in the most challenging of the last years, very lateral. Oh, so goddamn lateral, bro. And sometimes, like, it feels like, oh fuck, is this a wobble? Am I going down? Oh shit. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, but I'm on my way up. Straight up. I'm going there. But the meaning of my Saturn Taurus life really is patience and purification. Yeah. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. Whoo-wee. So we're getting there, man, day at a time, day at a time. I could say I'm excited now. It's getting closer to an hour. I think really it's time for me to go divine privately and get to my Shamalama Ding Dong. But The meaning of this is letting go. That's really the meaning. Letting go. Yeah. That's powerful. So, it's your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire. Here to share ideas, take the collective vibration higher. My sole intention is to reconcile all paradox with love and truth. And I love you. It's so good to see you. Blessed be.